Hello, today I'm gonna talk about how to play CT side. I decided to make this video because I personally struggled a lot with my CT side in the past. And I see a lot of players do things that just make it harder for them to play CT. So now, with that out of the way, let's start. The first thing I wanna talk about is how does a CT default / formation work. And it depends on the map. The most important thing is to cover every important part of the map and every entry to the bomb site. A quick example, which is the usual default for CTs, is 2-1-2, aka 2 people on A side, 2 people on B side and 1 guy down the middle. But the important part are roles, and the important roles are AWPer, which defends long hallways and tries to have an early impact. I made a video about how to AWP, so if you haven't seen it, go check it out. Then we have guys that help the guy holding mid or other important areas of the map and rotate in case the other bomb site is being attacked, either going to the other side directly or going to cover mid instead of the mid player because he was closer to the other side, so he rotated instead. I like to call those guys runners. And the last but not least are anchors, which are the guys that want to move and will stay on their side until it's a 100% guarantee that the enemies wanna plant on the other side, which is usually determined by whether your team sees the bomb or not. Now that I covered this, I'm gonna talk about a common misunderstanding that a lot of players have. Maybe this happens to you. You try to do something aggressive, some aggressive play, and your teammate calls to you, "Hey, don't push, we are cities, we just need to defend." And while this might make sense on the outside, it is a bit more complicated in the execution. The biggest advantage you have as a CT is your positional advantage, but this can be easily negated with good utility usage and sheer numbers of enemies. So how do we deal with that? The answer is either kills, rotations from your teammates, surviving for an eventual retake, or bringing the fight to them. If you do some aggressive plays in the start of the round and execute it well, you can end up with either kills, map control, or both. And even if we exclude kills, the map control that you would have is extremely helpful, and there is a couple of reasons for that. First being the fact that you apply pressure. By not letting them have an easy access to the parts of the map, like banana or mid, you take away from them parts of the map that they take for granted, giving them less space, opening up your part of the map, getting info which can lead you to be able to stack one of the two sides more heavily, and if they decide to take it back, they need to use resources to take it back. And more utility they need to use on the map, the less utility they will have to do and execute, which will make it much easier to defend for you. Also, the fact that you have taken additional map control gives you additional positions where you may or may not be. That's your choice, but the enemy still needs to clear those positions, either with utility or clearing them, which will make them lose time, and this could prove very useful, because if you don't see anyone on the other part of the map and the time is low, you can just stack on the other side, making it easier to defend, or they will just run out of the time, which is round 1. Using this early aggression, you can also do setups, either with someone or by yourself, that will allow you to get early frags. And if you take that map control, you can also set up for eventual T's trying to reclaim lost positions. And a lot of times, one flash is all you need. So calculated early aggression is really helpful and important. Of course, this doesn't mean that you should just run out with no util, guns blazing. Do it smartly and set yourself up for success. Now, what if you decide to do the opposite? And why you shouldn't do it? The answer is because if you just sit on the other side and wait for them to come to you, you have zero info, beside the fact that someone is in front of your side if you hear them. You have no map control, which will limit your possibilities like aggressive kill setups, lurks, info gathering, and so on and so forth. And the only thing that these need to do at this point is to make noise on both sides of the map, forcing you to use utility, and they will just need to wait and decide where they want to go. And you can't do anything, any worthwhile reads. So an organized aggression will help you a lot with your CT side, and it will make it a lot more fun. Of course, don't overdo it. After this, one thing that could be really helpful are protocols. Protocols are basically you knowing what to do when the enemy pushes your side at the start of the round. And by knowing what to do, I mean what early utility you are gonna use, what positions you will play, what util and where you will use it, when they come to the site, your pathing when retreating, and so on. Don't just try YOLO freestyle it. Have a plan. It will make your actions much more dynamic, as you won't need to think about what to do, because you already know it. And this fact will make you calmer and will allow you to focus on gunfights more. I recommend you having a couple of these protocols for each site that you play, so that you can change it up and be unpredictable. And this brings us to the next point of being unpredictable. Don't just always push in the same way or always defend in the same way. Change it up. Change how much you push, the way you push, your positions, the type of utility you are using, and so on. Because if you always do the same thing, after a while the enemy gets used to it and will be able to play around it. So be unpredictable, make them guess. Also, if you change what you are doing, let's say that you lurked in round 3 and now it's round 6. Somebody must check if you are lurking again or not. And even if you are not, just your ghost takes their attention and puts pressure on them, even if you are not there. Because if you do something, but you don't do it constantly, they are aware of the possibility, but aren't sure if you will do it, which will be much more difficult to counter than if they know you are gonna lurk, because you did it every round. And this opens up our next point, which is the exact opposite, conditioning. Conditioning basically means that you will do something out of rounds in a row, so that the enemy gets used to it and expects it. And then you will do something different. An example would be that you will use the same molly every round, and they already expect it, so they won't push right away. And then, one round, you don't throw it, either saving it for later, or exploiting it and pushing them instead. Conditioning is a one-time trick, but it can win a round, and in CS every round counts, so try it out. Another important thing are retakes. If you are holding a site, don't try to hold it if it means that you will die. Sometimes it's better to retreat and wait for your teammates to take the site back together, and that's what we call retakes. The only important thing that is good if you manage to do it when you will go for retake is to get a kill before you retreat. You don't need a double. Of course, it's good if you get it, but if you manage to kill one person and survive, then you did an amazing job already. So consider going for retakes instead of dying on the site every single round. It might help a lot. Also, a good thing to do is play off of your teammates, either by letting them flash you or vice versa, or by setting up crossfire. And playing together like this can help you to put some parts of the map on lockdown. There are some small things that you can do, but doing them can be really helpful. Utility-wise, you want to use some of your util to get an early map control to stop these from simply getting a free map control and pushing your site. But be careful and have some util by the end of the round as well, because the utility that you will use at the start of the round is utility you won't be able to use later. In this case, the thing that I would recommend is for the runner to use his utility early on, and for the anchor to save it for later parts of the round, so that he is able to hold site or slow down the enemies, so that his teammates have time to rotate even if he's alone on the site. And of course we shouldn't double molly or double smoke the same parts of the map, like double mollying the ramp. It won't help you a lot, you will just lose one nade. So be aware about that and watch out for it. So guys, this is all for today's video. If it was helpful and you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe. See ya!